whenever I move in my house, it's gonna have to be free from this, because I ain't gonna, you know, it ain't gonna work out for me. Oh Lord. So hey y'all, welcome back to my channel once again. Thank you for coming. Today I'm going to talk about the pros and cons of actually moving and or living in Houston, for whichever way you want to put it, but being a resident of Houston, Texas. I've been here a year and like 2 or 3 weeks or something like that, and it has been a roller coaster of things. Some people love roller coasters, some people hate them. It just depends. But I'm gonna dive in and tell you what are my pros and cons of living in Houston, Texas. So stay tuned. So I'm gonna obviously start with the cons, because we're gonna start with the bad stuff first, because hopefully they're not as long as the good ones. So we're gonna go ahead and get the bad out of the way. Y'all can probably already guess what 2 of these cons are gonna be for sure. And if you guessed traffic, guess what, honey? You guessed absolutely right. When I say traffic, I mean traffic like all together. Like being in traffic, people's driving, etc., etc., etc. Anything involving getting into a motor vehicle and losing all sense of rationality. We already know that Houston is saturated with a lot of people. It's a lot of people here. It's a lot of people on roadways and stuff. What I can say is that because I don't live far from where I work, like, I'm cool with that. The traffic is not a problem for me day to day. It's not a problem for me. That's not even my biggest complaint about it. Is that people here, y'all cannot drive. Like, Houston as a city cannot drive. Cannot whatsoever. So I have been hit not once, but twice. I lived my whole life and come to Houston and get hit twice in a short period of time. But I'm okay. I survived. Nothing bad happened to me. I just got a dent in my car, and then the other one, absolutely nothing happened. But I'm like, why are y'all not paying attention and being, you know, vigilant and aware of your surroundings? So next con is the weather. Listen, let me say this. Like I say in my original video, moving to Houston video, Houston's weather is very unpredictable. It's cloudy right now as I look out here in July. Earlier today, the sun was out. It was thundering like nobody's business. The sun was out. I can look across the way over there and it was pitch black dark. And it was thundering as if the sky had fallen out in all of the rain, like Noah was about to come with his ark. And then it stopped. And now you look at the ground and it's like it wasn't wet at all. Humidity would be my biggest problem with the weather. Like, the weather changes are often anyway. Like, that does not bother me, the constant change, there being no consistency in weather. But the humidity becomes a problem for me. Having severe sinus issues, the humidity is always an issue for me. Due to that, when I first moved here, I guess it was such a drastic change from Mississippi's humidity and heat. I had tonsillitis twice back in the summer. I had sinus issues. I had tonsil stones. I had a number of sinus headaches this past year. So, if you are, and there's a lot of pollen in this air as well around here in the atmosphere. So if you have allergies and or sinus issues, moving to Houston, get yourself together. Get it together. Do your research on what you need to do, because you're probably going to have more severe issues coming from wherever you're coming from, unless you're already in one of these humid climates already. And maybe, you know, but every city, you know, every geographical region is different. But I would say this: if you do have those issues, get your medication and stuff, get your knowledge up, because you're gonna need to do that. Nobody wants to be sick and can't breathe and can't sleep all the time. and head swole, itchy eyes, runny nose, sore throat. No one wants to do that constantly. So take a word from sis. Having had sinus issues my whole life, and they constantly get worse as I get older. Take it from sis. Get your medication together. That's all I'm gonna say, because the climate ain't gonna change. It gonna do what it gonna do, but that means you gotta have yourself together. So just a word for people with allergies, maybe asthma, sinus. Oh child, this is another play on the weather and humidity. You know, humid, hot, wet, that made me sick. Climates are like the breeding ground for reptiles and amphibians. Oh Lord Jesus. So as I moved into my new complex, maybe like a month ago, I never ever in my life seen as many lizards as I have seen since I've been over here. In a month, I've seen more lizards than I have seen in all 29 years, 6 months, and 2 weeks of my life. Okay, way too many. Yeah, I don't like that. In my Young Miami voice, I don't like that, because y'all don't like reptiles and amphibians at all. And there is a small body of water behind me, or where a body of water travels through. So sometimes it's sitting water. I don't like it. So another con would be the overpopulation. It's really not a personal con for me. The only way it's a con for me is if I'm going to shop in it. Well, yeah, because people are always in the stores, packed in stores too, especially if it's like a cheap store. They all up and through there. Like that, it really doesn't bother me, except for if I'm trying to do something and like I'm in a store and it's a bunch of people in there, like y'all just in the aisles in the way, and like y'all have no sense. Like even if I say excuse me, y'all don't move. Like that's rude. Like just get out of the way. So I just want to add this as an honorable mention bonus to the cons. It really ain't a con though, but I think it's funny, so I just want to add it. But it ain't nothing I like either, so it would like go in like the gray area if I were to have one. I went to a game in December at NRG Center, and I just remember looking around like at the fashions, like no tea, no shade, you know, to anybody, but like it literally looked like all the people, specifically guys and men, looked like they all came out of a 2004 like Nelly and the Saint Lunatics video or a crime mob video. It's like I saw tall tees, oversized t-shirts, baggy jeans, Mitchell and Ness caps, Air Force Ones, jabots. I felt like I was in a music video from 2004, hunty. I was like, okay. But that's y'all culture and that's what y'all like to do. By all means, continue to do y'all. Do you. Okay. On to the pros of living in Houston, Texas. The moment you all have been waiting for. So number one, it's going to be the job market and opportunities. The great thing about it is Houston has a plethora of jobs. Like I said in my original video, there are so many that people say if you can't find a job in Houston, boo, you just not looking. Okay, so according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, Houston's unemployment rate as of May of 2019 was 3.2%. In education, for one, like I said, pretty much anywhere you go, if you're licensed, and because somebody gonna always need a teacher all the time. Like, I ain't saying just y'all just go out there and be a teacher if they ain't really what you want to do, because it takes special people to be teachers. If you don't really like kids and you don't really have a special place in your heart for kids, don't take your tail to nobody's classroom or nobody's school. Don't even do it. It's enough of those already in there. There's some other job market out there for you. Find that one. Houston has a lot of others. Two, it's going to be entertainment and events. Let me tell y'all, there's always something going on. There's so many things. I love being in the city, because there are so many things to do and so many things at my reach. Like when I lived in Mississippi, I had to travel to Jackson. Even when I live in the Delta, an hour and a half, 2 hours away to go to a concert even. Now I can literally go 15 minutes to a concert. Oh, when it comes to event, the great thing too is that Houston has professional teams too. So education, like I attended my universities and attend my universities still from Mississippi, although they have a branch in Houston, because I'm online anyway, still considered part of the Jackson campus. But there are tons of colleges, universities, trade schools, technical schools in the area that people can go to, private schools, public schools, primary, secondary schools. There's so much education, so many educational institutions in the area too. And you probably can tell my hair looks slightly different. It does, because my camera died, and so I don't like the way this hair looks dry, so I went and waited because it looks better like this to me. I know that I said that a con was the weather, but on the flip side, it can be a pro, because most of the time during the year it's enjoyable. It's never too cold. It's extremely hot during the summertime, end of the summer, August, September, or whatever. But other than that, it's usually fairly nice. It's not a place that gets a lot of snow. At all. No real bugs or mosquitoes and things of that nature. A whole infestation of them throughout the year. You can pretty much enjoy the outside at any time and be absolutely fine and not be concerned about I'm about to have some type of disease or reaction because of some insects and bugs. So that's a plus too. So low cost of living and home ownership is another pro. Cost of living percentage would be based on, you know, how much it costs for you to live, in addition to how much you bring home. It's not a whole lot. If I do my multiplication, division, mathematics and such, factor in how much I made in Mississippi, how much I paid for bills living month to month, and how much I make here, I'm bringing home more money here than I did there. So cost of living is not extremely bad for what I pay in rent. I could be owning a home for what I pay in rent, and that's really like a lot of places the case, you know, is the case. But I want, period. In Mississippi, honestly, it's gonna cost as much as what I want here. I'm being honest, depending on where you are there. And I compare Mississippi and Houston, not because Mississippi is what I know. So in my mind, that's all I have to compare Houston to. And home ownership is relatively easy as well. Back in October, I tried at this subdivision to see what would be what, because they were sending flyers out to my complex, and I was like, I'm about to see what's up. So I went and I found out what I was approved for, what the process would be like, and all of these things. I still actually have the paperwork and stuff too. Don't sell yourself short. If you think you can't buy a home, just go see. You probably can. More so than you know. Don't underestimate yourself. The Houston strong thing. So after Hurricane Harvey, it was actually the same time that I had applied for my my license to come teach out here, which was a year in advance. I finally started telling people like a year in advance that I was actually moving to Houston. I knew 3 whole years before then. Me and God already knew. He planted that in my heart and in my spirit. It worked out. Don't ask me. I can't really explain. When God does things, I can't explain it to you. It's inexplicable sometimes. A lot of the times. He gives a vision to somebody. It ain't for nobody else to understand. A lot of times those who he gives the vision to, we don't even understand it. So I had a lot of people questioning, especially like after Hurricane Harvey happened and they knew, you know, I was telling people, you know, I'd apply for my license, I'm moving, I'm getting out of here in the summertime. And they were like, you know, people would ask me, you know, Houston underwater, you know, Hurricane Harvey that happened. You sure you gonna go there? Okay, let's look at this thing. Hurricanes, tornadoes and stuff happen in Mississippi. There's a fault line in Mississippi. The fault line has been active in the past for a few years. I say that to say this: you never know when natural disasters happen. You never know where they're going to happen. You never know, just because things have happened in the past, that something brand new won't happen ever again. You could not gauge Hurricane Katrina. You could not gauge Harvey. You didn't know that water would pour into the city like that and just see. So I say that to say this: natural disasters happen any and everywhere in some shape, form, or fashion. What am I gonna do? Just stop living my life because I know natural disasters are gonna happen? That's God. I ain't got nothing to do with that. I'm still gonna live my life. I'm covered in the blood. You know, what's supposed to happen is gonna happen. Otherwise, you know, I ain't gonna live my life on edge and being scared to move somewhere because they had a hurricane and the flood happen. With the Houston Strong thing, the camaraderie, the hospitality, the support that Houston had and got after Hurricane Harvey was like second to none for a city. I love that people came together. I came in January 2018, which was 5 months after Harvey, and you could not even tell in some places that there had even been water inundated in that place. When I did go to some places and they've had that type of support and type of love to bounce back as they have, and Houston still rolling. People still moved here by the tens of thousands. According to the census estimate, there were up to 1 million people who moved to Houston in 2018 after that. So people were not affected by that. I mean, people just can't stop living their lives because a natural disaster happened. You just got to pick up the pieces and keep rolling. And another pro is access to like healthcare facilities. Texas Medical Center, MD Anderson, people come from all across the country, all across the world to these medical facilities. And it being such a large place and having the type of resources and money that it has in this city, obviously you would have those types of things. So as far as taking care of oneself health wise, there are a lot of options as far as medical facilities are concerned. I mean, dude, like for some people the food is a pro. For me, A, I'm picky. B, I like a 7-year-old. So the food being a pro is really not a thing that I'm indifferent about it. Like the food here does not impress me. I'm not impressed. It's saturated by a lot of things, a lot of places, but I'm not impressed by any one place. I mean, I have some of them like I prefer over others, but to say that I'm like dead set over it, no. But one place that I do like, because I like fries and loaded fries at that, there's a place on Ennis called the French Fry House. Y'all should try it out. It's nice. It's small. It look like a little shed, but nonetheless, some good food come out of it, and they have some good boudin egg rolls too. So last pro, this goes out to the ladies and maybe some of you men. It depends on your lifestyle and what you like. I don't know, but I'm just gonna put the information out there. Use it how you please. Is that Houston has recently been named, I don't know by what organization who gave them this, but it says that Houston has been dubbed the sugar daddy capital of Texas. I prefer one, if I were to have a sugar daddy, one that don't want no sugar. But so that's why I ain't getting me one, because 99.9 times out of 10 they gonna want some sugar. And these are the 10 neighborhoods that they said you can find you a sugar daddy. Number 1, downtown Houston. Number 2, Boulevard Oaks. 3, Spring. Well, it is old people up there. 4, Uptown. 5, 5, Shadow Oak. 6, Kingwood. 7, Westbury. 8, River Oaks. I can see that. Now, let me tell y'all something. Y'all go to River Oaks, it's going to be some down there with some real money. I'm going to tell you that. Midwest and Webster. Go get y'all sugar daddy. Move to Houston. Live your best life. I hope this information helps y'all in some shape, form, or fashion. These are all my opinions. These are all based on how I feel. They are not sponsored. They are not coerced by anyone or any institution or company. But if y'all want to, you know, email me and we can talk about some things. These are my pros and cons. So if someone is looking to move to Houston, please watch my Houston videos so that you can know what you are getting yourself into. So thank you for watching. Make sure that you subscribe, thumbs up, and I will see you next time in my next video.